#1 sa Mega Manila, nationwide pa. Broadcasting from TGON, TVH Group of Networks. Dito lang sa inyong iisang himpilan, Cool FM. You are listening to Cool FM, live from Cool Studios. This is Cool News at Noon.
Good afternoon, and this is Cool News at Noon. I'm Cairo, and now let's get into the coverage of Typhoon Entang. Government work in Metro Manila was suspended Monday amid bad weather due to Tropical Storm Entang. In view of the inclement weather brought about by Tropical Storm Entang, work in government offices in the National Capital Region are hereby suspended at 8:30 a.m. today, 2nd of September 2024, the Office of the Executive Secretary announced. Work in private companies and offices, however, would be at the discretion of their respective heads, Malakanan noted. Earlier, the palace also suspended classes at all levels in public and private schools in Metro Manila likewise due to the storm. According to the Presidential Communications Office, the Office of the Executive Secretary declared the suspension of classes. Several local governments in Metro Manila already suspended their classes even before the palace declaration. It was 11 p.m. on Sunday when the Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical, and Astronomical Services Administration PAGASA reported that Entang had strengthened into a tropical storm. As at 3 a.m., Entang was last spotted moving over the coastal waters of Luzon's Camarines Norte at 10 km per hour west-northwestward. It carried maximum sustained winds of 75 km per hour and gustiness of up to 90 km per hour. Despite the heavy rains in Metro Manila, no tropical cyclone warning is currently raised in the region. Meanwhile, signal number 2 is raised over the northeastern portion of Camarines Norte, the northeastern portion of Camarines Sur, the eastern portion of Cagayan, including Babuyan Islands, the eastern portion of Isabela, Polillo Islands, the eastern portion of Huirino, and the eastern portion of Kalinga. Signal number 1 is raised over the southern portion of Batanes, the eastern portion of Ilos Norte, the eastern portion of Abra, Apayao, the rest of Kalinga, the eastern portion of Mountain Province, the eastern portion of Ifugao, the rest of Cagayan, the rest of Isabela, the rest of Huirino, the eastern portion of Nueva Vizcaya, the rest of Aurora, the eastern portion of Nueva Ecija, the eastern portion of Bulacan, the eastern portion of Rizal, the eastern portion of Laguna, the northern and southern portions of Luzon, Marinduque, the rest of Camarines Norte, the rest of Camarines Sur, Albay, Sorsogon, Catanduanes, and the northern portion of Masbate, including Tigao and Burias Islands. I'm having some I'm having some technical difficulties trying to get the website headlines to load here. All right, there you go. All right, on the other hand, several flights at Ninoy Aquino International Airport were canceled on Monday due to Tropical Storm Entang. As of 7:10, the following flights were cancelled according to the Manila International Airport Authority. So here are the following flights. We have Paul Express 2P. We have 2P 2921, 2922 Manila to Daraga to Manila. 2P 2671, 2672 Manila to Calbayog to Manila. For SEPGO, we have DG 6193, 6194, Manila to Daraga to Manila. DG 6177, 6178, Manila to Masbate to Manila. DG 6031, 6032, Manila to San Jose to Manila. DG 6118, Naga to Manila. And for Cebu Pacific, 5J 321, 322, Manila to Legazpi, Daraga to Manila. 5J 325 to 326, Manila to Legazpi, Daraga to Manila. And 5J 521, no, I'm sorry, 5J 821, 822, Manila to Virac to Manila. The number coding in Metro Manila on Monday has been suspended due to heavy rains brought by Tropical Storm Sig and Tang, according to the Metropolitan Manila Development Authority. In view of the inclement weather brought about by Typhoon Entang and southwest monsoon, the Unified Vehicular Volume Reduction Volume, or number coding, is suspended today, September 2, the MMD said in its advisory. Classes in all levels in Metro Manila were also cancelled due to Tropical Storm Entang set Palace. Luzon is now experiencing the effects of Tropical Storm Entang, bringing overcast skies and heavy rainfall in their area, according to the Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical, and Astronomical Services Administration, PAGASA. Now let's get into the rest of the headlines. Vice President Sara Duterte should focus her attention on her mandate as the country's second highest government official instead of implementing programs that are no longer within the scope of her duty, according to Senator Quirino Cocomi-Pendel III. At the same time, the Senate Minority Leader challenged Congress to go beyond tough talk and use its power to align the office of the Vice President's budget with its constitutional mandate. Congress shouldn't just act tough during hearings and then approve the budget as is anyway. If you're going to show strength, follow through by making sure the budget aligns with the Vice President's constitutional rule, Pimentel said in a radio interview on Sunday. Duterte is requesting 2.037 billion pesos for her office budget for 2025. Pimentel noted that Duterte herself has repeatedly expressed willingness to leave her office budget in the hands of Congress. She said, "I will leave it to Congress to decide what to do with my budget," and she's repeated that several times, which means she's serious about it. She also said the same thing in the Senate. She didn't just say it in this Congress, she said it last year as well, in a more respectful way. So Congress should show up, not pretending to be tough, but still keeping the budget as is, he pointed out. Philippine National Police Chief General Romel Francisco Marbel has ordered a review of the police force anti-illegal drugs campaign during the Duterte administration following allegations made by Police Lieutenant Colonel Jovi Espanido over the purported existence of a quota and reward system implemented back then. "We take these allegations with the utmost gravity," Marbel said in a statement on Sunday. Our review panel was formed to assess and evaluate the anti-illegal drugs campaign called Upline Double Barrel. The panel is composed of the Office of the Deputy Chief PNP for Operations, PNP Quad Staff, the Internal Affairs Service, and the Human Rights Office. Its mandate will include a detailed scrutiny and examination of all facets of the anti-drug campaign, particularly those related to human rights, operational protocols, and accountability mechanisms that were previously in place. Marvel said, "Our objective is to address any concerns, ensuring that the PNP's anti-drug operations are conducted in a manner that upholds the rule of law and respects human dignity." He stressed the findings will contribute to the PNP's future strategies in the fight against illegal drugs, with a focus on transparency, accountability, and the protection of human rights. We are committed to a drug-free Philippines, but it must be achieved through methods that are just and human, Marble said. And health experts are urging Filipinos to avoid having sexual encounters with multiple partners as monkeypox or mpox cases continue to rise, with 6 out of 8 active cases admitting they contracted the viral disease through these intimate engagements. Social distancing in public places, however, is not recommended as authorities maintain that mpox virus is not airborne, unlike COVID-19. Alright, it is now 12:11 in the afternoon, and stick around, koolNews at noon. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is koolNews at noon and it's 12:19 in the afternoon. Four of the country's allies have condemned China's latest harassment of a Filipino vessel in the West Philippine Sea, the fifth to be recorded in only a month. The August 31st incident was reported by Philippine Coast Guard Commander J. Carrera, who said in the post on X following Twitter that this Saturday afternoon the Chinese Coast Guard vessel deliberately rammed and collided with the PRB Teresa Macpangua three times despite no provocation from the PCG. Although no one on board the PRB Bangua was injured, the Chinese vessel caused significant damage to one of the PCG's largest vessels, creating a hole in the freeport above the waterline of the hull and damaging its bridge wing. The PCG ship has been anchored at Escoda Sabina Shoal, which is within the country's 370-kilometer exclusive economic zone since April 15. Saturday's harassment was the fifth to be recorded in August, signaling an escalation in Beijing's efforts to assert control over the shoal. In the statement also on Saturday, U.S. Department of State spokesperson Matthew Miller denounced China's dangerous and escalatory actions against lawful Philippine maritime operations near Sabina Shoal. The People's Republic of China's unlawful claims of territorial sovereignty over ocean areas where no land territory exists and its increasingly aggressive actions to enforce them threaten the freedoms of navigation and overflight of all nations, Miller said. He cited Beijing's series of aggression throughout the month of August and its disruption of aerial and maritime operations conducted by Manila in the South China Sea. The United States reiterates its call for the PRC to comport its claims and actions with international law and to desist from dangerous and destabilizing conduct, Miller said. He also reaffirmed his country's commitment to the 1951 Mutual Defense Treaty with the Philippines, which extends to attacks on Philippine armed forces, public vessels or aircraft, including those of its Coast Guard anywhere in the South China Sea. Japan also expressed serious concern as a stakeholder in the South China Sea over the repeated incidents between Manila and Beijing. Japan opposes any unilateral attempts to change the status quo by force or coercion, Japanese Ambassador Endo Kazuya posted on X Sunday, emphasizing that Tokyo stands together with the Philippines in upholding the rule of law at sea. Similarly, Australian Ambassador TVH Group criticized China's destabilizing behavior and called the repeating ramping of vessels unacceptable and dangerous. All countries must comply with international law. The 2016 Abril Award is binding on its parties, she said, referring to the international ruling that declared as unlawful China's claims to almost the entire South China Sea. Taiwan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs also issued a statement on X saying it joins the United States in condemning China's flagrant violations of international law. China's disregard for the rules-based order fuels escalating regional instability. Neither the Philippines nor other nations should be threatened by the CCP's Chinese Communist Party reckless ambitions, it added. On August 27, Taiwan also called out China over its troubling aggression, intruding into Japan's airspace and ramping Philippine vessels, 2 days after Chinese Coast Guard vessels ramped and trained water cannons on a Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources ship in Escoda Shoal. Taiwan was the last stronghold of nationalist forces retreating from mainland China amid the communist advance in 1949. China claims the self-governing island as its own territory. The August 31st incident also drew condemnation from Senate President Pro Tempore Jingo Estrada, who said the Philippines has all the reasons and enough evidence to bring the repeated and unprovoked dangerous actions of the Chinese Coast Guard before international courts. Our government has sufficient basis to take immediate and decisive legal action to hold China accountable for its increasingly aggressive actions. They have repeatedly endangered the lives of our brave men and women of the Coast Guard personnel and violated international maritime laws and sovereign rights, Estrada said in a statement. He added that the China Coast Guard has no right to even question the presence of PRP Teresa Macpangua in Escoda Shoal because it is situated within the Philippines' exclusive economic zone, which the April Accord ruled to be within the country's sovereign rights and jurisdiction. Senate Minority Leader Aquino Pimentel III said the Philippines should continue filing democratic protests over the incidents against China. There is an implication in international law that if you do not file, it means you are allowing such incident to happen, he said. We should stand our ground. That's our EEC, so our ships have the right to patrol and monitor the area. And the news just came in. We're going to get into that one once that loads up in my feed here. But yeah, the news just came in regarding the suspension notice. I'm just waiting for that to load here. There it is. So yeah, the news just came in, ladies and gentlemen. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. ordered the release of prompt announcements on work and school suspensions for September 3, amid a high chance that Tropical Storm Entang would further intensify. Marcos said the early notice will allow the affected population to adjust accordingly. We will try to give the bulletin as early as possible for work and school tomorrow. Ang instruction ko sa kanila, kung maaari bago tayo magtulog, ay alam na natin kung may pasok bukas o hindi, he said in a Tabash interview in Malacanan on Monday, September 2. Para makapag-adjust naman yung mga tao, Marcos added. Marcos also gave assurance that standard operating procedures are in place and being followed amid the onslaught on Entang. We're prepared for the aftermath of all of this, and as usual, nag-forward placement na tayo ng mga gun. We will just have to wait for the weather to see what it will do, Marcos said. Hopefully, umiwas sa atin, but even if it does not, we have all the elements in place to support our people na magigising. Mahihirap dahil dito sa naging Tropical Storm Entang, he added. A Senate panel's hearing on Alice Go's escape was held up Monday amid torrential rains in Metro Manila due to Tropical Storm Entang. Senator Risa Hontiveros' office set its subcommittee on Justice deferred the scheduled public inquiry into how Guo managed to lead the Philippines in July as Senate President Chis Escudero suspended work at the upper chamber on Monday amid bad weather. Suspended po ang hearing on Guo's escape to inclement weather. We will advise po kailan ang schedule, states an announcement from Hontiveros' office. All other Senate hearings set for Monday, September 2 were likewise suspended, including the Subcommittee on Finance hearing on the proposed 2025 budget of the Office of the President, National Intelligence Coordinating Agency, and National Security Council. Senate Secretary Renato Batok Jr. said work at the upper chamber will resume on Tuesday, September 3. The Marikina River reached second alarm by mid-morning Monday as water level continued to rise amid persistent rains due to Tropical Storm Entang. The Marikina Public Information Office said in a Facebook post that the river hit 16 meters high at 8:32 a.m. and 70 meters by 10:55 a.m. It was under first alarm from 7:51 a.m. after its water rose to 50 meters high. If the river's water increases to 80 meters high, the local government may impose mandatory evacuation of residents. The state weather service 8 a.m. water bulletin indicated that Entang was 100 kilometers northwest of Duet, Caminos Norte, and moving 15 kilometers per hour at west direction. Excuse me. And now, finally, let's get into some survey here. The number of Filipinos watching locally produced movies in cinemas has greatly decreased, and cinema watching is now limited to those who belong to the A and B socioeconomic classes and a small portion of C, according to Film Development Council of the Philippines Chair Joseph Javier Reyes. In a recent media gathering, Javier said the agency has come up with a preliminary survey on the viewing habits of the Filipino audience and has already sent the result to major Film Producers and the Cinema Exhibitors Association of the Philippines. A more extensive one will be released in December, he added. Sadly, the survey revealed that those in the D and E at socioeconomic classes are no longer watching movies in the cinema. Actually, even the number of audiences from the C market has decreased. We only have those from C1 and not even C2 and C3. In other words, it has become very limited, he began. Which explains why the biggest hits of the Metro Manila Film Festival these past years are for these specific markets. The latter was the biggest hit in 2023. Its audience are those who can afford it. That rings an alarming bell because instead of paying 500 pesos to see it in theaters, they just wait for it on streaming apps, the FDCP chief said. Another information pulled from this survey is that return viewers no longer exist at the Reyes. Back then, when you really liked a movie, you would see it in cinemas several times. These days, people will watch it once and just wait for it to be streamed. That greatly affected ticket sales, he explained. And that is it for the koolNews at noon. We will continue delivering the Typhoon Entang throughout the next few hours on koolNews at 4, koolNews at 6, and koolNews Prime Time as we keep an eye on what's happening in the weather. Until then, I'm Caro. Stay safe, people, and good afternoon.